Wait, did he just one shot? Hello friends, Smithy still here and welcome back to my channel. So this video is definitely long overdue, primarily because I haven't had the chance to work on my fill. Now that being said, we will make the first run today in order to ascend him with Helmo. I should also mention that this is not a time challenge, so feel free to take your time, strategize the optimal way to beat this rune. And I am hoping to get the 3S rank like I did with Nightmares, which should bring me about 25 to 105 points. Now generally I do like to make these runs near the reset time so that I can do 6 runs back to back and get it over with. Looking forward to sharing more tips and strategies and hope they will help you. Without further delay, let's dive right into it. So firstly, you'll see 3 Yabbies for each floor. You're only required to defeat one of them, and by doing so, you acquire and accumulate buff for the final battle. Each Yabby also comes with a level ranking from 3S to level C associated with your difficulties and reward points. Now, there is also a penalty for not being able to defeat it, so choose wisely. Again, there's no timer here, so feel free to switch Yabbies before and after battles. Since we're going against Pope, I'm going to use my Lunar, which should give me a relatively easy first round. Okay, so they're all the same level, so it comes down to the buffs. We have magic attack, magic defense, and physical defense. And if I remember correctly, I believe Phil is physical attack, so let's go with the physical defense. Let's switch to Keating here so that we have the attribute advantage, and then hopefully we can just one-shot him. And we'll buff once. And out with a nice crit. Okay, so Nen is A level, counter damage by 30%, Seraph speed evasions, and the Pope ancient damage by 20%. I'm probably gonna go with Pope here, just because I have my Lunar. So my recommendation here is go with the right ability first and then focus on your points in the future run. You need to know that you can clear this rune before anything else. Picking the wrong ability would just sabotage your chances. And I do recommend bringing Lunar, and I think that for a lot of you guys, Lunar is one of your strongest Yabby. There will be a few Pope and Keating along the way that will prove difficulty without an ancient type. Good to see Insomnia. Unfortunately, I'm not going to pick up any buff or bonus for this run so that I know what my limits are. So S rank on floor 5, so we have Keating with counter damage, Anubis with HP damage, and Werewolf with crit damage. I'm probably going to go with Anubis here. This is the buff that most of you want to get. And let's add another one on the list for Lunar to counter Anubis. I'm just going to do my regular attack here and it should clear it. Remember that Lunar's ult also decreases enemy stats, so if you can spam his ult, that's a huge benefit in the future battles. I guess that was close enough. And let's finish off with my SR. Okay, so we have Jun, Seraph, and Nen. Jun with the defense buff, Seraph with the HP buff, and we have Nen with the crit rate, but no other stats will be able to receive any increases, so that's no good. Let's go with Jun for the points. Yeah, I'm gonna switch out to my Keating here just so that we can speed it up a little bit with the attribute advantage. So Julian is actually not a bad unit to upgrade for DPS as a fairy attribute. Unfortunately at this time Vera and Shido is already available and I would prefer to upgrade them with my resources if I have them. Okay, so we have Caesar, Tortoise, and Tiger. If the buff says none, that means all three Yabi have 0 buffs. Just go with the one that has the highest points. So Fairy and Water type are the best against Dark. Although I do have Vera, I haven't upgraded her, so Dark will take a little bit more time to complete on my end. If this was a time rune, then I would have maxed her out, but I think I can survive here with just my SR. Now, in my opinion, there is 3 different strategies that you can deploy here to clear this rune: attack damage, HP damage, and defense reflective damage. I will cover each one in this video where there is a slightly longer battle, but first, here's a list of buff that you can acquire and build up the attack damage strategy. What you're really targeting is the crit and attack level buff along with the ultimate damage and energy recovery so that you can continuously spam your ultimate every single round. So far, I'm actually not going with any of the strategies that I will mention. I'm doing my best to reverse my conscience and going with more of the instinct. This is so that you can actually see, even with any combination of abilities, that you can still clear this room. Well, hopefully, so one way to find out. Okay, so Caesar, Tortoise, and Dragon. Caesar with the HP damage buff, crit damage, and HP buff. So I'm probably going to go with the HP damage here. And I should probably mention what that strategy is. So here's a list of buff that you can acquire with the HP damage strategy, which I strongly recommend for a lot of the player. This is what you want to go after. It will make your life in this run a lot easier. And what you want to target is up your HP stats as much as you can while picking up the 15, 30, and 5% up to 40% damage buff. They do also stack, so if you have the choice between 15% or 30%, go with the 30%. Now, you're probably not going to pick up every single buff on the list, but if you can get a decent 75% coverage, it will do the trick. I will also have the list available at the end of the video, along with bonuses that you can get from the merchant, so stay tuned. So I have Keating, Formless, and Tortoise. Keating with 30% damage buff against full HP, energy regen, and crit level. Probably gonna go with Formless here, and I am actually looking forward to seeing all these new Yabis being playable in the game. Bloodless, Formless, and the 4 Beasts, Dragon Princess, and a bunch of assets are already in the game. I think it's just a matter of time before they're updated. Okay, SS rank at 410, we are halfway there. Before I forget, I'm just going to take out my Osiris for the final battle. And we have Firemane, Shido, and Pope. So Pope with the damage, HP damage. I already have one available, and remember now they do stack, but I'm probably going to diversify here a little bit. Let's go with Shido with the 60% out damage. So I'm doing a blend of the defense, a blend of the HP damage, and a blend of the attack damage. And of course I'm going to switch out to my Keating here just for the attribute advantage. Honestly, Shido is such a cute design with the color scheme and the halfling. It did surprise us when we found out that he was a male, but I guess that's what Pretty Boy Fairy looks like in this game. Okay, so Aldusha, Monoplu, and Shura. Okay, so if the buff is none, again, just go with the highest points, and in this case is Aldusha. Now I sort of should have got Kran out. I think that would have speed things up a little bit faster, but at this point I can't really escape. If you do escape, it will count as a loss and you will have the points deducted, so might as well just carry forward and carry through. Okay, so we have Aldusha, Monoplu, and Shura again. Sometimes if you look away and then come back to the screen, you're gonna feel like you confuse yourself and that you lost a round, but if you check the buff, you're actually not. So in this case, I'm probably gonna go with Shura's HP damage. So I have Keating, Rabbit Master, and Peter. The buff is none, so I'm probably just gonna go with Keating here with my Lunar. Okay, so and Peter with the HP buff, and Demon King with 2 immune attack. I don't know if Phil will use his ult in the first 2 to 3 turns, so maybe the immune will come in handy. And given Demon King's a fire type, might as well have a mini test to see how well I do. So this is probably like the 3rd or the 4th Keating that we're fighting, and like 99 Pope. So Lunar is actually a good choice to bring on, definitely for sure in this run. So I guess now we can see the immune attack ability, immune once and immune twice. Got a terror on the Keating, and there's my shield. So that's actually not a bad option for survivability, but again, it's your choice depending on which strategy you're looking to employ. If I was going the HP damage route, then I would have fought Peter with the HP buff. Okay, so floor 17, we're almost there, and we are at 1,000 points. So this is where I guess we should start to consider the points. Recover 2 extra energy at the end of each turn. Now that is a little bit hard to turn away from. That could ultimately mean you're spending it out every single round. So let's go with your fairies, and I'm gonna put out my Keating here just for the attribute advantage again, which generally you're dealing 200% damage instead of 100%. Okay, so Lucia, Shido, and Kran. I'm probably gonna go with Kran for the points. 15% HP damage, defense buff. Yeah, probably just gonna go with Kran here. And I don't think we're gonna hit another Caesar. So I will cover the last strategy here, which is the defense reflective damage. And the buff that we get from Crown works really well for this strategy. Essentially, what you want to do is pick up as many physical defense and magical defense buff as much as you can, and then either have a Yggdrasil equipped Yabi like Osiris on the battle, or get a reflective armor buff from the merchant at Phil. Having both would naturally be even better, but keep in mind that the buff will cost you 250 points. So out of the 3 strategies, I would still rank HP damage as the top, and then followed by attack damage, and then the reflective damage as the strategy of choice from easiest to hardest to clear. Okay, starting off Shido, we have the attack buff, increased by 3 levels, Kran with the counter damage, and Vermilionberg with the crit damage. I'm probably gonna play a little bit safer here and really going in for the points so that I do surpass the 1200 mark. So let's go with the Vermilionberg. Okay, so we're finally at the final floor with Phil, and the defense reflective buff that I mentioned earlier, you can find it at this merchant here, which again, it will cost you 250 points, so do take that into consideration. Now, you will lose 100 points if you cannot defeat Phil, so it might be worthwhile just trading in some of the extra points for additional buff. For now, let's give it a shot. So something that I want to mention is it's actually important to count the turns in the battle so that you know when the up is available and when it's not. So Phil powered up the first turn, attacked the second turn, and attacked the third turn. So my 2 attack immune buff was actually quite useful in this case, otherwise I would have lost a lot more HP. So something I am not showing here is that Phil has a buff, and it's called the Lava Lord, which means that each time Phil defeats a Yabi, his damage is increased by 30%, and for each 3 turns that he is present, his own damage is also increased by 30% up to a maximum of 300%. So it's important to keep your Yabis alive. And wait, did he just one-shot my Lunar? Okay, wow, Phil is actually OP. So I'm gonna bring out my Osiris here, just to leverage the curse damage, and then hopefully I can use my Oracle of Demise to keep myself alive for 4 turns. And you can literally see the damage increase right there by 30% after he killed my Lunar. So I noticed that my curse is not activating the HP damage buff, so something to keep in mind if you're using any Yabi that are leveraging poison or burn, make sure you are still doing the regular attacks to activate those buffs. And this Phil, he outs, no damage. Okay, well I guess time's up for my Osiris. I should be able to finish out with just a attack from my Keating here. Okay, so 1240 and we are 3S rank. Let's see how much we get here. 25, 25, and 25. Okay, not too bad. If I do 6 runs, I should be able to get myself very close to the 500 marks. Once again, I hope you guys found this video helpful. I will be aiming to produce more content on a weekly basis in the coming month, along with a few other games that are about to hit on global. And if you haven't already done so, remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. Lastly, remember to pause the video on the next screen for the list of buff, and I'll see you guys inside the game.